What is good, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I'm going to be breaking down what's going on with Tesla, SPY, Nvda, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. I'm going to break down what's going on with the economic calendar for today, as we have some big data coming out at 9:45 a.m. What the news is saying about the markets in Tesla, and all of this could affect the share prices of all these different companies. But before I break anything down, let me just mention a couple of things. I am firstly not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Webull and deposit any amount of money into the account, you are guaranteed up to 6 free stocks. If you deposit $500, you're guaranteed 20 free stocks plus 6 months of level 2 data. And putting in $25,000 or more gets you 70 free stocks plus 12 months of level 2 data. The offer ends in just 3 days, so check it out before they run out. Anyways, let's break down what's going on with Tesla. Tesla is currently holding around this 252 area. We will see if Tesla just tries to break out from here, if Tesla gets some kind of like pullback to grab some liquidity before we push even higher, or if we turn bearish into breaking some key supports. So I'll be breaking down all the scenarios and what I think is more likely to happen. But as a reminder for Tesla in the markets, at 9:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 15 minutes after market open, wherever you are around the world, we have the S&P Global Composite PMI and the S&P Global Services PMI data coming out, with the manufacturing data as well. This is very important for giving us an understanding of how these sectors are doing and the strength of the overall economy. So we want these numbers to be above expectations to help the market hold up. We will see if this is bullish or bearish data. There's going to be a big move at 9:45. We'll see if this launches Tesla or not. So make sure you're prepared for this. Make sure you're ready, and we'll see what this causes. But just to be honest with you all, I just want to mention that SPY has over 4.8 million puts expiring today, and we have just over 2 million calls. With a 2.37 put to call ratio, when we have these, the market's been pumping almost every Friday for the last many weeks. So there's a good chance we might see the market makers repeat what they've been doing and squeeze more of these shorts and cause the market to pump. There's a very good chance of that. I do favor that, but just to be safe, we'll have to wait and see. Now, something to know about the markets. Bulls just want to have fun. If you want to go that route, it is true. We're seeing, the Dow Jones approaching the all-time highs. The S&P 500 is just continuing to push. We're breaking 52-week highs for many stocks out there in ETFs, and we're doing very well. GM's Cruise said that Thursday it's going to lay off 900 employees. So it is what it is. This tends to happen in these high interest rate environments. LinkedIn is shifting its plans. The social media site has called off a project codenamed Blue Shift that would have moved its data center to Microsoft Azure, which is once again a setback for its parent company. There's also some news that Intel wants to get in on the AI craze. They unveiled a new computer chip at the New York event on Thursday. It's going to include some AI chip for generative AI software. It's going to help them rival Nvda and AMD. So this is big news for them. That's it for now when it comes to news for the markets. Now let's talk about Tesla. Tesla has some more lawsuits going on. Just as a reminder, they have a lawsuit against Horst Nord and the Swedish Transportation Agency. They claim that at least 1,000 new license plates are still not within possession. So this is some big news that came out. Not to mention that the Nordic Union is just continuing to struggle. So we're seeing unions just continuing. They're more common in Europe, and we'll see what this causes for Tesla. But as a reminder, these unions, they basically need to come to a collective bargaining agreement with Tesla. That's what they're working on. And once again, we're going to be watching to see how the Finnish transport workers also come in, not to mention the Danish ones. So it's happening all over Northern Europe. This is very important. The largest trade union in Denmark is also, once again, kind of like joining in on this. So we're seeing all of these blockades and things like this, which has been negative for Tesla. But the good news for Tesla would be what the Fed announced, and that is the rate cuts. Not to mention, the new news about the Generation 2 Optimus robot, which is bullish, and the fact that Tesla got its permits for the Mexican Gigafactory, and there could be more progress being made as more funding has been secured. So good news has come out for Tesla, and it's still holding up. So we'll be watching to see how this affects the share price. So far, nothing too horrible has come out at the time I'm recording this. What do I see for Tesla? Well, don't forget, guys, 9:45 a.m., we're going to be looking for a big move. If we're bullish, we could see Tesla retrace just a little bit, grab some liquidity around this 250 zone, and then try to bounce. If we break 252.5 to 253, watch for this thing to get up to 255. If we break that, watch this resistance at 258 to 260. All right. If we're bearish, however, you don't want to see this thing bounce around this 250 zone. 248 to 250. You don't want to bounce there. You want to see Tesla lose 247. That's very close to where this blue trend line happens to be, this resistance. If Tesla loses 247, it could sink all the way back down towards 244, then 242. And I would favor the bears a little bit more if we end up losing 247. We just fail to hold it. In my opinion, considering there are all these shorts in the market and considering everything, I think the odds do favor Tesla either coming down a bit and bouncing, or just kind of like bouncing from here and trying to push up even higher for 255. It could even go higher towards 260, but just to be safe, let's wait and see what the data suggests, and we will see how Tesla goes. But I do favor it's going to hold up at least for the time being. As far as SPY goes, we have like a double bottom like formation forming. I was talking about this thing kind of like dropping and bouncing. So if we're bullish on SPY, you want to see it hold 470, you want to see it push, remain parabolic, and try to fill this gap that's forming and start pushing for 475. Well, first off, 472. We want to fill this gap to 472. If we break that, then we have 474 coming next to 475. And if we break that, then we have like 478 coming next. I think that's going to be the bullish case. The bearish case would be we just continue to sink below 470. And we eventually make our way down to 468 and 467. What does my gut say? I think the odds favor the upside, us trying to fill this gap and trying to push up. But don't forget, there are all these shorts expiring. So many people are betting the market's going to drop, and we have this data at 9:45. So I think the odds favor SPY trying to get back above, like holding 470. As long as we hold it, we're going to be in a decent place, filling this gap to 472 and possibly breaking higher. I do favor that a bit more. The green trend line you guys can see right here, I favor this a little bit more than the red one where we just collapse and start coming down to 468. For confirmation, see how we hold around 470. If we lose 470, we could turn a bit more bearish. If we hold above it and start pushing, we're bullish. I think the odds favor the bullish outcome on SPY, also on the QQQ. For the QQQ, let me just mention to you all that historically, for the last couple of weeks, guys, notice this yellow line. We're holding the yellow line. We've been holding it for many weeks on the QQQ. So today, if you look at the QQQ, we came close to testing it again. We're actually holding up quite nicely. If we're bearish, you want to see the QQQ lose this yellow trend line and then break below 402 and come all the way down to 400. That would be the bearish case. The bullish case is we just continue to hold this yellow trend line. We just uptrend and we make our way towards 405 all over again. And eventually 406, this high up here, then 408 above that. What do I think is more likely? The green possibility up here where we just respect this yellow trend line, we slowly creep up. I think the odds favor the QQQ holding up, especially because Aapl is still holding up too. If we're bearish on Aapl, I want to see it lose 197 and 196. If we lose this range of support, this wick right here, this low from yesterday, we're going to sink down to 194.4. If we're bullish, you want to see it break and hold 198.5. Don't forget, we have to wait for the data to come out. But if we break 198.5 and keep pushing, we could be trying to make our way back up to like this 199 range, the yellow trend line. And if we break that, 200 is our next target. So the odds do favor the upside on Aapl. I think Apple's going to try to hold up, but just to be safe, we'll have to wait and see. But I do favor Aapl holding up for the time being, and maybe like this green possibility playing out. We could come down to grab liquidity right here at like 197.5 and then bounce. But if anything, I do favor the upside a little bit more, especially since it's a Friday. But just to be safe, if we do lose 196, 197 and then 196, I would turn bearish. For now, I don't see that. I do favor the upside, but let's just see what the data causes just to be safe. For Nvda, this is going to be the last one I go over before I upload the video. Nvda is still looking decent. It's holding up nicely. I went over a bullish case and a bearish case. If we're bearish, so Nvidia could grab some liquidity again around like 481 and try to push back up. If we're bearish on Nvidia, I want to see it lose 479. If we lose 479, it's going to be sinking back down to like 474.5 in these lower levels. If we're bullish, you want to see it basically hold this range. So if it does come down to grab liquidity and bounce, I want to see it break 485. If we break this, it's going to be pushing for 488 to 490. My guts tells me that it's going to actually kind of struggle for some time around this 485 area, but later on we might make an attempt to get to this wick right here into the higher 480s, 490. So I do favor the upside a little bit more on Nvidia since it's respecting the upper trend line right here. It might struggle a little bit and then eventually try to break out. But watch and see if the data helps Nvidia as well. As of right now, it's showing some strength. It looks like it might push higher, try to get closer to 490 plus. If 490 breaks, we could get very close to like 495, 498 and 500 later on in the future. Not saying today, guys, just in the future. So watch this resistance. I do favor the upside on Nvidia. I will turn bearish if we lose 479, but I don't see that right now. I just favor the upside. Anyways, that's it for this video. Hopefully this video was sufficient and helpful for your pre-market updates. Have a great day, guys. Enjoy what Friday has to offer. And once again, for the final time, I know I keep saying this, the data comes out 15 minutes after market open. Get ready and do what you have to do. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great day and peace out.